Hello, my name is Sage and you are watching D&D Daily. Today I'm doing a viewer request blind stat block reading. This request comes from Dahaka4444 and it comes from Tome of Beasts Volume 2. The creature we're taking a look at today is the Murgrik. This reptilian creature is built like an alligator with two extra mouths, one affixed to a stalk between its eyes and one toothy maw stretched over its belly. A bat-like membrane connects its forelimbs to its body, and a tail made of a dozen spinning tentacles propels the abomination in flight. It's quite the description. They are marshy nightmares. Murgriks are consummate hunters and prefer to prey on intelligent creatures. They relish the fear their appearance provokes, and they augment this fear by generating terrifying wells from the stalks on their heads. Once they smell blood, they relentlessly attack and pursue prey until they or their prey die. Corrupted alligators. Occasionally, deep parts of swamps cross planar boundaries into the abyss. Those who study Murgriks believe the creatures are ordinary alligators warped by their proximity to that plane. Their cruelty and preference for intelligent prey both lend credence to the notion that the Abyssa has influenced their mutations. Afraid of herons. The only known way to deter a Murgrik from attacking is to introduce a heron, real or illusory. The reason a Murgrik retreats from herons is a mystery, but it may point to the existence of a demonic bird that preys on Murgriks. The Murgrik is a large, chaotic, evil aberration, has an armor class of 18, 152 hit points, a movement speed of 40 feet, a flying speed of 20 feet, and a swimming speed of 40 feet. They have +6 to strength, +0 to dex, +4 to con, -2 to intelligence, +2 to wisdom, and -1 to charisma. They have proficiency in the athletics and perception skills. They have dark vision out to 60 feet and a passive perception of 16. They understand deep speech but cannot speak, and they are challenge rating 9. Their first ability is called Blood Frenzy. The Murgrik has advantage on melee attack rolls against any creature that doesn't have all its HP. Hold Breath. The Murgrik can hold its breath for 30 minutes. Keen Scent. The Murgrik has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell. Tentacle Flight. The Murgrik flies by spinning its tentacles. If it is grappling a creature with its tentacles, its flying speed is halved. Moving into actions, we have a multi-attack. The Murgrik makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its tentacles. The bite is a melee weapon attack with +10 to hit, a reach of 5 feet, it hits 1 target. On hit, it does an average of 15 piercing damage. The tentacles is a melee weapon attack with a +10 to hit, a reach of 10 feet. It hits 1 target, and on hit, it does an average of 9 bludgeoning damage. The target is grappled with an escape DC of 18. If it is a medium or smaller creature, and the Murgrik doesn't have 2 other creatures grappled. Until this grapple ends, the target is restrained. Stomach Maw. The Murgrik makes 1 bite attack against a medium or smaller target it is grappling. If the attack hits, the target is also swallowed, and the grapple ends. While swallowed, the target is blinded and restrained. It has total cover against attacks and other effects outside the Murgrik, and it takes on average 14 acid damage at the start of each of the Murgrik's turns. The Murgrik can have only 1 creature swallowed at a time. If the Murgrik takes 20 damage or more on a singular turn from the swallowed creature, the Murgrik must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw at the end of that turn, or regurgitate the creature, which falls prone in a space within 5 feet of the Murgrik. If the Murgrik dies, a swallowed creature is no longer restrained by it and can escape from the corpse by using 10 feet of movement exiting prone. Finally, it comes with unsettling ululations, which recharges on a 6. The stalk on the Murgrik's head unleashes a dispiriting well. Each creature within 30 feet of the Murgrik that can hear it must make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw. On a failure, a creature takes an average of 21 psychic damage and is frightened for 1 minute. On a success, a creature takes half the damage and isn't frightened. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Alright, time for tactics. So taking a look at their stats first and foremost, this is a bruiser. We have a high strength and a high constitution, and nothing really else to speak of. This means that we're not going to be sneaky or clever or intelligent. We're kind of just a beast that wants to take the fight to the enemy as directly as possible. As for our offensive tactics, we're going to be relying on our multi-attack first and foremost. We get that tentacle off, that's 2 people grappled. We go for a bite on one of them, and then we dip, ignoring opportunity attacks. We have enough health to take opportunity attacks all day. As we're running away, we're going to put one of those people that we have grappled into our stomach and begin eating them, and then we can turn around and grapple another one if needed. While we're kind of running away, we're going to be biting and preferably swimming away, right? If we're underwater while we're doing this, that's the best case scenario for the Murgrik. That's one of the great things about swimming creatures is that player characters are going to struggle in water. Most weapons are going to have disadvantage in water, and if the players aren't properly prepared, they themselves are going to have terrible movement in water as well. So water is really advantageous to this creature, and I feel like it would just instinctually know that water is its best hunting grounds. So I'd really only be using flight if me as a DM decides that for whatever reason this creature wants to escape and there isn't a good water route to do it. I would use flight to retreat. So we're really trying to take and kill up to 3 people at a time. The 4th is going to be ignored until we finish eating one, and then we're going to go back to capture that one and eat it while we're chewing on another one. So because we can only really eat one at a time, that's how we want to approach this. Target one at a time, using our hefty constitution and armor to get in there, get someone, and get out, eat them, return, and so on and so forth. I feel like the fear effect that we have would be a primal reaction from this beast whenever it's being swarmed or being hit too many times. It would use it defensively, like get off me, and scream at them like a kind of a defensive screech. I think of like a bunny cornered, you know, it makes those horrifying noises as a last ditch effort of like get away from me. I kind of see it like that, where if it's being swarmed, it's going to say get off me and use its unsettling ululation, or however the heck you say that. As far as what settings I would be using the Murgrik in, I really feel like it is appropriate for a swampland, and I think it's a being hunted scenario. They have the advantage on the smell check, so they're tracking the party using their scent and eventually trying to either ambush them or just hit them really hard. And trying to ambush them, but failing to do that, just getting in there using your absolute massive tankiness, grab someone, and dip. Only to repeat the whole process after you've consumed your meal. This has been my blind stat block reading of the Murgrik. How would you run your Murgrik differently? What would you do to make them cooler, and what setting would you apply them in? Let me know in the comments down below. We are D&D Daily. We release new D&D content every single day, so if that's interesting to you, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.